Good evening, everybody. It's Ed, and this is Let's Cook It. It is Tuesday, April 12th, and welcome back. It's been a couple days since I've done a video, and tonight I've decided to do one. Someone I know shared this recipe with me, and I thought it would be, it sounded pretty good. I thought it'd be a good idea to cook it. They didn't tell me that it had a name or anything. They just gave me the recipe that they had seen somewhere. So I thought, well, it sounds good, so I'm going to make it. So what it starts out with is 3 pounds of ground beef. And to this, I've added some of those spices that I mixed up in a few videos back, just a little concoction that I put together for some seasonings. Some dehydrated onion or some fresh onion, whatever you like. And I put in a couple tablespoons of minced garlic, just for some extra flavor. Now I've already browned the ground beef just to cut back on the length of the video, and I'm going to put the camera down so you can take a look at what we have so far. All right, so this is the ground beef mixture, and it is cooked. And to this, what we're going to add is a block of cream cheese, and it's still pretty cold. But you're going to stir this up until the cream cheese melts. It shouldn't take very long because I had the the cheese out for a little bit so it could melt. I hope everybody has been doing well. And in just a couple minutes, I'm going to do a special shout out to someone who has been watching my videos, and I really appreciate that. Let's get this cream cheese melted. And we're going to add some other ingredients. Now, what we're going to add is a couple tablespoons of yellow mustard, a quarter cup of ketchup, and I'm going to stir all that in. All right, looks like it's coming together pretty well. I should maybe have taken the cream cheese out of the fridge a little earlier so it could melt a little quicker. All right. Smash that down in there. Just keep stirring. Now this ground beef was a little bit too greasy, so I did drain some of the oil and the grease off of it. And I did put a little bit back into it so it could have a little bit more flavor, and so that it would fry up a little bit more and melt this cream cheese. All right. So the person that gave me this recipe said that this also calls for radishes, but I don't really like them, so I'm going to leave them out. I guess you could probably put just about anything in this recipe, whatever you like. And it looks like it would be maybe a low carb or a keto option for people who want something different. All right. So to this, I'm going to add the quarter cup of ketchup, the 2 tablespoons of mustard. Stir that in. Now you're also going to put this into the oven for about 30 minutes. And of course we're going to put it in a casserole dish and top it with some shredded cheese, which I forgot to get out of the refrigerator, but I promised to put that cheese on top of this meat mixture. Turn that down a little bit. All right. I'll let that cook a couple minutes more. And I'm going to put the camera back up here so I can tell you guys something. Okay. Now, as I've said before, I really appreciate all the views and the subscriptions and the likes to my videos. I really do appreciate that. Makes me feel good to know that people are watching my videos and liking what I'm putting out. Okay, so one of my really good friends that I work with, she and her family watch my videos, and she tells me that her daughters like to watch them as well. Now, one of her daughters, Charlotte, who is a wonderful young woman, drew me a picture, and I'm going to show it to you guys, and I really appreciate this, and she put a lot of thought and effort into it, and I appreciate it. And Charlotte, I want you to know, I think you're a wonderful young lady, and I'm going to keep this picture forever because I do like it. All right, so let me hold this up here. It says, eggs, you're welcome, to Ed from Let's Cook It by CLM. Those are her initials. And the date, 4/7/2022. She made it a food theme and made these fried eggs. Now, I can barely draw a stick figure, so I'm not even going to try to do that. But I really like the detail. She put the yolks in there. They're not busted. My egg yolks always are when I fry an egg. And she even put the edges brown, like a fried egg would look like. I love it, Charlotte. And as I said, I think you're great. And I'm going to keep this picture and keep doing that. And if you want to send any other pictures my way, I'll take them and I'll put them on my video and I'll give you a shout out every single time. Okay. So, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to put this into the casserole dish, put some of that cheese on there that I talked about, and pop it into the oven. It probably shouldn't cook for too long, I wouldn't think, because everything basically is hot and it just has to melt the cheese, so it shouldn't even take 30 minutes to do that. The oven's already on, and so we're going to get it going. All right, as I said, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to get a big spoon so I can get this out of here without burning myself. Get a shot of it before it goes into the oven, and let's take a look, see what it looks like. All right, everybody, I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, everybody, I've got the cheese on the casserole. Let's pop the camera down there so you can take a look at this before I put it in the oven. All right, so there it is with the cheese on top. And as I mentioned before, I really like cheese, so I put a fair amount on there. All right, so I guess this recipe also calls for a sauce to put on top of this. And I'll talk about that in part 2, and there will be a part 2 to this. So don't worry about that. All right, so into the oven it goes. I'm probably only going to leave it in long enough to get the cheese melted and take it back out. And I'll make that sauce, and I guess you pour it over top of this. I'm not sure, since I've never had this recipe before. We'll try it. And it smells great. Just those little ingredients that's in there. It's a pretty basic recipe, and it came together really quickly, which I liked. And as I was putting it in the pan, I could really smell the garlic and the onions and the mustard and the ketchup. It smelled really good. I want to take a bite of it then, but I didn't. All right, so I'm going to stop the video, and this will be part 1, and I'll get it uploaded, and I will put a part 2 up in just a little bit, and we'll come back, we'll take a bite of it, and see how we like it. I think I'm going to like it because it's beef and cheese, 2 of my favorite things. All right, everybody, I will see you in just a little bit. This is part 1 of this casserole, and I'm out for now. All right, see you soon.